Hello people, welcome back to Beauty Jam. Today I'm going to be doing a little music kind of review. Now, when I was younger, I used to listen to Ashley Tisdale a lot. Like, she was my Disney star. Do you know what I mean? She was the main one that I used to go to. So you had like Miley Cyrus and that back then as well, but I sort of vibed more with Ashley Tisdale because I used to watch The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and I used to watch High School Musical and blah blah blah, so she was always like my kind of Disney star, you know? And I used to play Headstrong in my room over and over and over and over again. I remember asking my mum that I really wanted the CD because back then the internet it was a thing, but I wasn't allowed on it, you know, as a kid, you know, because we used to have a computer in the living room that everybody used to use, and everybody used to see what you were doing, and I didn't mind that. But obviously I can't really play Ashley Tisdale's music when people are trying to watch the TV or people are trying to, you know, like they're trying to do stuff because it's not really private. And I remember being like, Mom, can you please get me Headstrong? And she got it for me. I don't know where she got it from, but she got it for me and I was so happy, and I played it over and over and over and over again on a little stereo in my room. And then she released Guilty Pleasure and I got that one as well. And I used to play that one over and over and over again, and I used to play them all the time. Like, I kid you not, as a teenager in my bedroom, it was Ashley Tisdale. Obviously I used to play other things as well, but she was a main one. She was a main contender, you know? And she just stopped releasing music. You stopped hearing about her, and I don't really know why. Bearing in mind at this age I was 13 years old, so I didn't have Twitter or anything like that. And I just thought perhaps she was done with music. I thought she had a few more films come out. I know she did like Something in the Attic. Oh, I don't know what it's called, but Something in the Attic. She did a few more films, and I thought perhaps she was done with music, you know? And then obviously I hear that she's coming out with a new album in 2019, 10 years after Guilty Pleasure. And I was so happy. I was like, oh my gosh, she's coming back. She's coming back. And I'm 23, like I'm 10 years older than I was, but I was still majorly excited. I was like, yes, you know. And to be honest, just hearing her voice again, it just brought it all back. I was like, oh my gosh, I used to run around my bedroom with my hairbrush dancing and singing to your stuff, you know, and it just brought it all back, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. Anyway, let's talk about this album. The album is called Symptoms. It was released, I don't know, I think it was April or May. It was something like that. I hadn't listened to it. I went away on holiday and took it with me, and I listened to it there. So it was nice to be sitting by the pool listening to it for the first time. And to be honest, I love it. I just love the album as a whole. I think it's her best work yet, which I know that's saying a lot, and I know that she's, you know, it has been 10 years and music does age, so I'm not saying that, you know, I'm just saying even if she'd have released it back then, I still think it's her best stuff. Track number 1 is the title track. It's called Symptoms. That is the song that opens the album and kind of gives you an idea of what she's going to be talking about, which is that she gets symptoms when she talks to this particular person, you know? And this is what I like about this album. You can take this either way, you know? You could take it as it's somebody that you fancy and you get nervous talking to them and only them, or you could take it as though she has anxiety and she gets nervous talking to just people, you know? So it's like you can take it different ways, which is what I love about this album, because it's not like she's talking about one specific thing. You can take it and relate it to your own situation, which is what I love. And I put a little heart next to that song on my iTunes, so I like that song. The second song is Looking Glass. Now, again, you can take it different ways, but I love the message of this song, because it's like, you need a different type of looking glass to see through me, right? So it's like what you see and on the outside is there, but you have to look inside to see the real me. Do you know what I mean? That's how I took it anyway. Whether she meant it a different way, I don't know. But you have to look at things differently to see the real person, right? And I just loved it. I loved it. Number 3, Love Me and Let Me Go. That was the single that she released a few months prior. I do like that song. It's not EDM, but it's kind of touching EDM, which I liked, because it was like you got that little break in the middle of just music, which I liked that, like, I don't know how to put it, but I just liked having that little break from verse, chorus, and then that little break of music there. And, again, Love Me and Let Me Go. You could be talking about a lover, you could be talking about a friend, you could be talking about a family member, you could be talking about yourself, you know. So again, you can take it different ways. I like the idea of it having different messages for different people, because I can listen to this album and think a load of things, and then somebody else from a totally different background to me, or a totally different life to me, could listen to it and take it as something completely different. Do you know what I mean? But yet we've listened to the same song. You know, so I just loved that. And Love Me and Let Me Go was a great choice for single as well, because it got people hooked back onto, oh, Ashley Tisdale's coming back, do you know what I mean? So I think that was a good choice in single too. Yeah. Number 4, Insomnia. Again, can take it different ways. I liked the beginning to this song, the beginning, like her singing. I think it's like the hook as well. I liked the hook, you know, but the song itself, it's not my favourite, but I did like the hook and I liked the beat. It's not a bad song, but it's just not my favourite, right? Number 5, this is my favourite on the album. This is my favourite song, Vibrations. This was my favourite on the whole album, and I just loved it, because there's so many in the media, right? Okay, I'm gonna get deep now, okay? Well, not too deep, but just a little deep, right? We're talking like not shallow end, not deep end, like middle, you know, and that's how deep I'm going, right? Sometimes in the media, it's all portrayed that you need to go out clubbing, you need to do this, you need to do that, you should be wearing this, and you should be looking like that. And it can get in your head sometimes, do you know what I mean? That if you're not doing those things, then you're not cool, or you're not good enough, or you're not, do you know what I mean? And it's so far from the truth. So I was happy that I heard a song that was about staying in, you know? Like, that's what I need. I need a song that's making staying in sound cool, you know? So that was my favourite on the album. And it's true. You haven't got to go out and party every weekend. You can stay in sometimes. I'm not saying, like, separatism and don't ever go out. I'm just saying, you know, it's not like you have to do something every single weekend, you know? 'Cause that's just ridiculous. I'd hate it. To be honest, if I was invited somewhere every single weekend, I would hate it. I'd be moaning like mad. I'd be saying, oh, work all week, and now I've got to go and do this weekend. I've got to put my makeup on. I never get any time for me. I don't. Like, I'd be moaning about it, you know? So I think it's nice that we had a song that was kind of like, yeah, we can stay in and we can chill. We can put some stuff in the microwave. We can get a bottle of wine, and we can just have a chill evening, you know? I like that. It's my favourite song on the album, guys. So that's my favourite. 6, Under Pressure. This kind of had the same vibe as Insomnia for me, but again, the message of it is there. She's felt under pressure a lot, and I can see that. At first I was kind of like, pressure from what, you know? But I guess when obviously she's not going to share too much about her life, but what I gathered is that she's kind of suffering from some kind of mental illness, you know? So, and I do get that. I can relate to that. You do feel pressurised, and you can feel anxious about things that perhaps you shouldn't feel anxious about, especially when, not that you shouldn't, but other people don't. You know what I mean? Like, other people can do that so easily and they don't even think about it, and then you're there like really panicking about it. Do you know what I mean? And it's one of those things that, you know, people don't talk about enough. So I'm glad that Ashley Tisdale's kind of talked about it and said, you know, I mean, she's done it through music, which is the best way to do it sometimes, because sometimes when you put things to a beat, it's easier for you to talk about things rather than just like me now, you know. So I will give her that. She did really well with that, putting that message across. She did it, you know, and I will give her that, definitely. 7, True Romance. This is something that didn't really vibe with me that much, but I've never really felt like that, you know. I've never had that type of relationship, you know. So it's like, okay. But I imagine somebody who has been with somebody quite a long time, or a fair amount of time, let's say, they probably can relate to that song, you know. But I haven't, so I can't relate to it, which is probably why it doesn't vibe with me. But I still think the song itself is good, and I like the beat. I like, you know, so I'll give her that. Number 8, Voices in My Head. Yeah, this was the second single, and again, I loved it because again, it's talking about like you can have different thoughts, and it's the last time I'm listening to the voices in my head. I mean, I imagine she's not talking about real voices in her head. I imagine she's talking about what she thinks, because sometimes you are your own worst enemy, you know. So you can think things, you can think, oh, you're not good enough, you're not this, you're not that, because I've been there and done that, you know, and they don't want to be with you, they don't want to be your friend, like whatever, you know. And you have to take your life by the collar and say, I'm in control now, do you know what I mean? And that's basically what she's saying, like, this is the last time I'm listening to myself, you know. And I liked it because I have been there and done that, you know. I've been there, and it's horrible, to be honest, but you have to not listen. As difficult as it is to not listen to yourself, you have to, and it is difficult. So I appreciate the song and I liked it. And then the last song, Feeling So Good, I liked this because it's kind of like it's like an uplifting song. After you've listened to all that pain and difficult situations that she's been in, you know, it's kind of like a song that's like, you know what, I'm getting used to this now, I'm feeling good. And I liked it. The album as a whole, if you listen from start to finish, it's kind of like a story. I don't know whether you've noticed that, but I did. It was kind of like a story. So if you are going to listen to the album, I'd suggest listening from track 1 right the way through. One thing I will say, most of the songs are only 2 minutes, which isn't unusual for Ashley Tisdale, to be honest. Like, that's how it was, but I did find it quite odd for the time of music that we're in. Like, music now is 3 to 4 minutes, and that's it. Do you know what I mean? Anything over 4 minutes is usually considered a long song, but these are all like 2 minutes 30 seconds, 2 minutes. I think there's out of 9 songs, only 2 of them are over 3 minutes, which is quite crazy. And you do find that when you're listening to the album, it goes quite quick. But if she got her point across, then there's no need to prolong the song, is it? If she got her message across in 2 minutes 30 seconds, then that's it, you know. But I will say that some of the songs are quite short, but I'm not complaining about it. I'm just stating that, you know, they are 2 minutes long. So yeah, overall, as a whole, this is her best album yet. I absolutely loved it. And my favourite song is Vibrations, and my least favourite song is True Romance. And that's pretty much it, guys. But I liked it. I liked the cover as well, you know. And I did, but I loved the message, and I do. I would suggest that you go and listen to it, either on Spotify or somewhere like that. I would 100% go and listen, give it a listen, guys, because it's good. Anyway, I'm going to leave this video here. I'm going to leave a link below to the album on Spotify and iTunes if you want to listen or purchase. I'll leave it in the description below. Make sure you check out Ashley Tisdale too. And yeah, I'll leave some links to her Twitter and stuff in the description below. So anyway, thank you for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe for more videos from me, and give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And I will see you next week. Bye!